Johan Cruyff is often regarded as one of the biggest influences on the modern game. Pep Guardiola, for example, will often speak about how playing under Cruyff has really shaped his own coaching philosophy, and that's what we're going to focus on in today's video. We're going to focus around Johan Cruyff's 3-4-3. As always, I will leave timestamps and chapters below. I'm Coach Reese. Let's get into the video. Cruyff's version of total football was all about trying to control the game and dominate the opposition. Cruyff really wanted to increase the number of triangles available for his players, and a result of this would be increasing the number of passing angles available for the player in possession. A key area that Cruyff wanted to dominate was the centre of the pitch, and this is where Cruyff chose to utilise a diamond midfield, and this is how he began to structure his 3-4-3. When we initially think about the diamond midfield, the formation that we're instantly drawn to is the 4-1-2-1-2. When Cruyff was at Barcelona, the majority of teams favoured formations that included two strikers, predominantly the 4-4-2. Cruyff saw the opportunity to reduce the number of players within his defensive line to 3. This still allowed the team to maintain a +1 with 3 defenders against 2 forwards, while freeing an extra player to be utilised further forward. This created his 3-4-3. With most teams favouring the 4-4-2, Cruyff's 3-4-3 was a revolution at the time. It allowed his Barcelona team to create opportunities for numerical superiority, along with maximising the passing angles available for each player when in possession. This allowed the ball to be moved forward with ease. To begin, the left and right centre-back would move wide, with the central defender, in this case Coleman, being the deeper of the 3. This was really important in how Barcelona built up. Initially through the numerical advantage created with 3 defenders against 2 forwards, but ultimately this creates dual diamonds, which allows multiple passing angles and opportunities to progress the ball forward beyond opposition lines. The 3-4-3 and the dual diamonds within that not only allowed the number of passing angles within the system to be increased, allowing for the player in possession to have multiple options, it also allowed for better distribution of players vertically up the pitch. And it also allowed for players to be positioned between lines. And this is really important because it allowed the ball to move forward with ease across shorter passes with a lot more accuracy. Within Cruyff's 3-4-3, Guardiola, as the single pivot, played a vital role. He's the direct link between the 2 diamonds. So we would expect Guardiola to receive from the defensive unit, positioned beyond the opposition's attacking unit, to move the ball vertically into the forward players. With the flexibility within the 3-4-3, Guardiola was responsible for providing cover and maintaining the structure if any of the defensive unit moved forward with the ball. So for example, if the left centre-back travelled forward with the ball, Guardiola would move into the defensive line and just maintain the team's balance. Guardiola was vital in how the 3-4-3 functioned. There's often times when Guardiola would be the constant figure within the centre of the pitch, and the remaining players within the Barcelona team would almost move around him. Ahead of Guardiola was the 2 central midfielders, the attacking midfielder, and then the forward line. And these players were responsible for creating the opportunities to score goals. And we're going to take a look at that now. In order to maximise the space available for the midfield players, the initial movement is from the wingers, who would move wide looking to stretch the opposition's defensive structure. The left and right central midfielders were the most creative players within the team. In possession, they would look to receive the ball from Guardiola or the defensive unit, and try and play forward into players who are making runs beyond the opposition's defensive unit. Alternatively, they would make runs into the half space if the opportunity arose. The striker, who was more of a false 9 than a traditional striker, was vital for this to work. As the striker dropped, moving the defenders out of their structure, this created space for the midfielders to move into. Flexibility within Cruyff's 3-4-3 is incredibly important, and this impacted the profile of player used within each position. The role of the attacking midfielder was not only to support the progression of the ball, but at times operate as a second striker. So for example, if the striker dropped, the attacking midfielder would then move forward, attacking the space created, or playing briefly as the striker. With the wide positions taken up by the wingers within the 3-4-3, along with players positioned within the half spaces, Barcelona were able to create a 5v4, and this is something that's incredibly common within the modern game. This allowed for the defending fullbacks to become isolated, allowing for the wingers to create a 1v1 situation. Within today's game, we can see a lot of similarities between Johan Cruyff's Barcelona, and this is why Johan Cruyff is regarded as one of the biggest impacts on modern football. As always, I do hope you found the video useful. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I've been Coach Reese. Have a great day.